Everybody want to talk. Everybody want to post. Everybody want to show the world how hard they grinding. But let me tell you something. They're too busy talking to actually do the work. Let's keep it real. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They don't fall short because they're not smart or gifted or capable. They fall short because they distracted. Period. You were born with something special. You were built with purpose, but you'll never tap into it. You'll never unlock it as long as your energy is leaking into everything except your mission. You can't build a legacy while watching everybody else live theirs. Some of y'all are out here watching 5 hours of content on other people chasing their dreams while yours are collecting dust. You're cheering, you're commenting, you're reposting, you're watching them win, but you're not working on yours. You're distracted by the noise, distracted by the trends, distracted by opinions, drama, gossip, likes, validation, who said what, who did what. And meanwhile, your greatness is sitting in the corner waiting on you to show up. Progress don't happen in chaos. Progress requires focus, sharp, tight, locked in focus. You can't build an empire if you're letting every notification shake your spirit. You can't climb a mountain if you keep stopping to look at what everybody else is doing on the trail. You can't grow if your attention is split into 50 pieces. You got goals? Then you better protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Every distraction has a cost. Every time you take your eyes off your path to glance at someone else's, you pay with your progress. That's time, energy, clarity. You don't get those back. You don't get refunds on wasted focus. You don't get credit for intentions. You either do or you don't. And distraction, it makes sure you don't. Some of you are addicted to being busy, but you're not being productive. You're scrolling, you're talking, you're planning, you're starting, but you're not finishing. You're letting every little thing steal your focus. And then you wonder why you're stuck in the same place year after year. You wonder why you're not leveling up. It's not that you're not capable. It's that you're not locked in. You got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Because if you really want it, if you're really about that life, you'll stop letting distractions win. You'll stop making excuses. You shut the door, cut the noise, eliminate the chaos, and commit to the grind. Not for a week, not for a month, but until it becomes who you are. You got to treat your focus like it's sacred. You got to defend it like your dream depends on it, because it does. You think success is going to show up just because you want it? Nah. It shows up for the one who's too locked in to be moved by anything less than the vision. It shows up for the one who says no to distractions not once, but every single day. You want progress? Then make a decision today. Decide to eliminate the noise. Decide to be obsessed with your path. Not interested, not kind of committed. I'm talking obsessed. So focused, they think you disappeared. So focused, they think you fell off. But really, you were just in the lab. You were just building. You were just growing. You were just preparing for the next level they can't even see yet. You were out of sight, but never out of the game. You were choosing growth over gossip, vision over validation, legacy over likes. You were sacrificing the shallow for the solid. You were becoming dangerous in silence. You were transforming, elevating, refining, and every second you stayed focused, you got one step closer to becoming undeniable. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. Growth is lonely. It's uncomfortable. It's internal. And it's not supposed to be a show for the world. You're not growing so people can clap for you. You're not evolving so you can post every step on social media and wait for likes to validate your direction. This journey is for you. That's it. That's the focus. Everybody want to look like they're growing. Everybody want to appear to be leveling up. But real growth, it's not glamorous. It's ugly. It's quiet. It's gritty. It's when you're sitting alone, looking your bad habits in the face, calling out your own excuses, confronting the parts of you that nobody sees. It's crying in silence. It's falling and getting back up with no audience. It's losing friends, shedding identities, letting go of old versions of yourself, and nobody even knows what you're going through. But that's the point. Growth doesn't need witnesses. It just needs commitment. Too many of y'all want to show your progress like it's a trophy, but trophies don't come during training. They come after the sacrifice, after the struggle, after the years of invisible work. If you keep looking for applause, you're going to slow yourself down. Why? Because now your motivation is external. Now you're growing for people, not for purpose. And when the applause fades, so does your drive. Growth is sacred. It's private. It's between you and God. Between you and your future self. You don't need to explain your process to people who ain't even qualified to understand it. You don't need to share your next move with folks who don't even have the discipline to chase their own. Because while they talking about what they think you're doing, you actually doing it. You ain't need to broadcast your healing. You don't need to live stream your grind. You don't need permission to grow. You just need to go all in silence. Work when nobody's looking. Improve when no one's watching. Forgive yourself in the dark. Elevate behind closed doors. Get stronger in the quiet. Because that's where the real work happens, not in front of an audience, but in the shadows, in the solitude, in the trenches where character is built and resilience is formed. See, growth doesn't come with the filter. It's raw. It's real. It's messy. It's not a highlight reel. It's the behind the scenes. And that's why most people miss it, because they're so obsessed with being seen that they forget to actually become. They want the image without the inner work. They want the celebration without the suffering. But you're different. You don't need to be seen. You need to become. You're not chasing status. You're chasing substance. You're not addicted to attention. You're addicted to elevation. And that shift right there, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. So stop announcing everything. Stop trying to explain what you're working on. Stop feeling like you owe the world a play-by-play. You don't. You're not growing for them. You're growing for the person in the mirror, the one who knows what it costs, the one who stayed when everyone else walked away, the one who kept showing up even when it was hard, even when it was quiet, even when it felt like nothing was working. That's the one you do it for. That's the one who's evolving every single day. And they don't need approval. They just need discipline. They just need clarity. They just need the space to rise in silence, to become dangerous in the dark, to move through the fire without having to explain the smoke, to rise without an audience, to rebuild without applause, to grow into the kind of person who doesn't need to be seen. Talk is cheap. Period. Anybody can say they want it. Anybody can post about grinding. Anybody can claim they're building something big. But in the real world, it's not what you say that counts, it's what you do. And not just once. Not just when it's convenient, but every single day behind closed doors, when no one's clapping, when no one's cheering, when it's just you and the work. Let your results speak. Let the product of your discipline, your sacrifice, your consistency speak for you so loud that you don't even have to open your mouth. See, the loudest person in the room is usually the one doing the least. The real ones, the ones who are locked in, the ones who are about that life, they too busy executing to explain themselves. You don't need to keep telling people you're different. You don't need to convince them that you're committed. Just show up different, move different, work different, and let the results do all the talking. You don't get respect by making noise. You get it by making impact. Results speak every language. They don't need translation. They don't need hype. When you show up with results, people listen differently. They move differently around you. Not because you said something powerful, but because you became something powerful. Because your actions prove what your words never could. You don't need a speech when your habits tell the whole story. You don't need a post when your progress is undeniable. So you don't need validation when your vision becomes reality. So ask yourself, what's louder, your grind or your mouth? Because the world don't care about your intentions. They don't care about your potential. They care about what you produce. You say you want to be successful, cool. Then show me your calendar. Show me your discipline. Show me your priorities, because results come from repetition, not reputation. You can't tweet your way to the top. You can't talk your way into legacy. You got to build it quietly, relentlessly, consistently. You want them to respect you? Then go dark and come back unrecognizable. Stop trying to look like a winner. Be one. You don't need to update the world on every move you make. Just win. Just keep showing up, doing the work, staying locked in when everyone else is distracted. Keep building in silence, so when it's time to speak, your life is the testimony. See, when you really start producing, everything changes. Doors open. People notice. Opportunities multiply. Not because you begged for them, but because you earned them. That's what results do. They don't ask for permission. They command attention. And when you've been grinding in silence for long enough, the world starts asking, who is that? Not because you were loud, but because your results couldn't be ignored. You don't need revenge. You don't need to respond to hate. You don't need to defend your grind. The scoreboard will speak for you. The transformation will speak for you. The lifestyle will speak for you. The elevation will speak for you. You just keep moving, keep sharpening, keep stacking those wins and pride. Keep making deposits into your vision every single day until the return is so massive, so undeniable that even the people who doubted you have no choice but to respect the level you've reached. Listen, not everything requires your response. Not every comment needs a clap back. Not every opinion deserves your explanation. Because when you're on a mission, when you're building something real, when you're protecting your peace and guarding your focus, your silence is a weapon. It's armor. It's the shield between your purpose and their noise. You don't owe anyone access to your process. You don't owe them your thoughts, your strategy, your moves. Some of y'all are draining your energy explaining yourself to people who aren't even qualified to have the conversation. You're letting people pull you out of your zone because you feel like you need to prove something. You don't. Silence is how you stay in control, because energy is not infinite. And if you keep giving pieces of yourself to every distraction, every debate, every doubter, you're going to be too tired to show up for the things that actually matter. You ever wonder why you're exhausted even when you didn't physically do much? It's because your mind's been in 10 different places defending your name, fighting battles that don't build you, explaining goals that weren't designed for them to understand. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that you're too valuable to waste energy on noise. It's knowing that every ounce of your focus is precious. You can't let energy vampires, gossip trains, low vibration conversations rob you of the momentum you've been building in the dark. You can't let people who aren't growing dictate the rhythm of your rise. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them wonder. Your job is not to convince. Your job is to become. You don't have to shout to be powerful. You don't have to announce to be effective. You just have to stay locked in, centered, and focused on what you're here to do. Let your peace be your power. Let your calm be your statement. Silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about not reacting. Not reacting to negativity. Not reacting to doubt. Not reacting to fear. You don't need to defend yourself when your life starts doing it for you. The version of you that's rising, that version doesn't flinch when misunderstood. That version doesn't respond to small talk or petty energy. That version is too busy creating, too busy building, too busy healing, growing, elevating. When you protect your energy, you become dangerous, because now you're not moving emotionally, you're moving intentionally. You're not pulled in every direction. You're grounded, you're clear. And that silence, that stillness, that focus, that's where your power multiplies. That's where the vision sharpens. That's where new levels are unlocked. But you'll never get there if you're letting the noise outside disrupt the voice within. You have to create boundaries so strong that they filter everything. Not everything gets in. Not everyone gets access. Some people only bring chaos. Some situations only drain you. It's not personal. It's purposeful. You're guarding something sacred, your future, your potential, your mental clarity. And you can't afford to let anyone compromise that just because they want a reaction, just because they want your attention. Let them think you fell off. Let them think you're doing nothing. That's cool, because while they're talking, you're transforming. While they're watching, you're working. While they're busy with noise, you're building something so solid, so untouchable, that by the time they realize what you were really on, it's too late. You already became everything they said you couldn't. Everybody wants to elevate until they realize what it actually costs. See, people love the idea of growth. They love the dream. They love the vision. But what they don't talk about, what they don't prepare you for, is the isolation, the long nights, the distance that forms when you stop doing what everyone else is doing, the silence that comes when you decide to lock in. Because elevation isn't a group project. It's a lonely climb. You don't go to the next level by staying in the crowd. You don't level up by staying available to everybody. You grow when you separate, when you unplug from the noise, when you step back from the distractions, when you stop watering dead conversations, stop showing up to spaces that drain you, stop entertaining people who only knew the old you, the version of you that settled, the version of you that played small, the version of you that wasn't ready to evolve. Elevation requires that you get uncomfortable. It requires that you remove the fluff, the noise, the background chatter. Why? Because the next level demands clarity, and clarity only shows up when the chaos is gone. You can't hear your calling over constant conversation. You can't step into your purpose if you're still waiting on permission from people who aren't even walking in theirs. That's why isolation is necessary. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's where you strengthen your identity. It's where you build habits nobody sees. It's where you face your demons in the dark so they can't follow you into the light. Because the version of you that's meant to thrive at the next level, that version gets built in the shadows, in the quiet. When it's just you, your grind, and your God. Look, you can't take everybody with you. That's the hard truth. Some people were only meant to walk with you to a certain point, and the longer you try to carry them, the more they slow you down. You got to learn to let go. Let go of the people who don't get it. Let go of the habits that don't serve you. Let go of the identity that's keeping you stuck at ground level, because you weren't born to blend in. You were born to break through. And breakthroughs don't happen in busy rooms. They happen in solitude, in stillness, in self-discipline, in silence. That's where the real work is. That's where the shift happens. When you start to isolate, things get clear real fast. You start realizing how much time you were wasting, how many opinions you were entertaining, how much of your potential was being poured into the wrong places. And suddenly it clicks. This isn't about being seen. This is about becoming solid, becoming so rooted in your mission that the noise doesn't move you, so focused that distractions can't touch you, so hungry that comfort doesn't tempt you. Let them say you changed. Let them say you went ghost. Let them say you switched up. That's fine, because while they're talking, you're transforming. While they're guessing, you're growing. While they're posting, you're producing. While they're out partying, you in the lab rebuilding yourself from the inside out. And when you re-emerge, when you come back after that season of silence, of sacrifice, of separation, you don't come back the same. You come back unrecognizable, unshakable, unstoppable. You come back with power in your voice and purpose in your steps. You come back so aligned, so elevated that the people who used to know you don't even have access to the person you've become